taken off, and then that's it. We're going to be able to drop this whole thing right now. Transmission's out. That's the all-wheel drive transmission from the CRV. It's kind of dirty, but this is just to mock it up to make sure everything fits. So far, the H22 bracket does not fit, so obviously we kind of expected that. So I'm looking for a B series bracket. So the adapter lid is bolted on. This is just for mock-up purposes, and this is the spacer for the crankshaft. Basically goes the indentation right here, bolts onto the one down there on the sliding like that. It's gonna be a little snug, but there you go. H to K adapter, so I can run a K series manifold that folds down to clear the hood. But so far, we did a lot, so I can't be mad. Everything is pretty straight. As you can see right there, everything's pretty straight. Love the engine, love the transmission, and then start on cutting the rear. But this is the first step. These are the parts that we've got. This is the Euro R pulley, single, no power steering. These are the universal bushings purchased, just got to cut them down to length. It's a little longer than we needed, so this would just make adjustments. We cut the plate and got it mounted, so now we have a good surface to weld on. When we get the whole transmission leveled, put this side back on, it's mounted on. Now we're just making the little brackets, so when we basically do the weld right here and here. There's the mount that we made. Everything's in place, it bolts up. That's the mount we're working on for the back. And that's the front. Transmission side we're gonna work on it tomorrow. More or less, the motor is level, flat, stable, whatever you want to call it. We made sure of that. And I did.
Make sure you get my
the ugly side. Hello everybody. So we're back. Give you a little update. We have the frame rail mounted for the rear. Just got to stitch, just have them stitch welded right now. We're gonna actually fully weld them in sometime during the week. I'm gonna be taking out the rear bumper today, so we can figure out how we're gonna run the exhaust. So right now, as you can see, everything is basically in place. So the back is done. Just gotta figure out the front. So more or less, this is how it looks. Still have the factory seat locations because we're gonna figure out a way how to make the custom seats fit here. So far the engine is in, mounts are made, everything is secured, and took the doors off. So this way we can start mounting everything. So the cradle is in, as you guys can see. We're working on placement of the diff right now. But we're just gonna figure out how we're gonna mount the differential, figure out the angle of the drive shaft, start making the mock axles up, get the correct orientation of how we want them to make sure they're not going to be hitting anything. So what I have done is I put a long extension bar into the drive shaft so I can get more or less an idea of what it's going to be like. Since everything is in the resting position, so this is the lowest it should technically get. So we should have plenty of clearance. Out. We have these little rods, so at least this way we could adjust the differential in and out if I decide to upgrade. But for right now, everything's secured. We have the mock axles in just to get an idea of what the clearance would be, and so far everything is fine. Should not have any issues, but if we do, we already have a plan. Once the new axles come in, once we send these out to get made, we just had to get an idea of the dimension that we would need. So they're in. Everything is actually being supported by its own weight. Leave all the jack stands are out, and everything's looking good. So currently this is all we've done so far. We've started on the process of sheet metaling the whole bottom end. So we've completed the tunnel. I believe that's 16 gauge we're using for the center, and then we're going to use 20 gauge for the outside to basically cover inside the car from here over. So this way it's dual layer, because the part we cut out was dual layered. So we're just trying to replicate what the factory did. And then once that's done, we're just gonna, trim it up a little bit and then start doing the floors. We're gonna probably join the floor to it, kind of like how we did back here. We're gonna start working on it again since all the Christmas hype is over. Actually start getting some free time. So as you can see, the tunnel is done by where the passenger feet would be. We raised it and did the dual layer like we stated we would do in the first update last time. We made the low bracket cable, so the cable just bolts in, goes straight through, and here's the floor section. So we just started on it. Okay, this is a look underneath the car in the daylight. So here's the finished product. The e-brake is in, ran it through, tightened it down on the bracket, had the two factory 12mm bolts in place, and this is the brass. I just have it adjustable, so we have two 10s on each side. I just lock it in, run the cable through, tighten it down with the Allen keys, and we now have e-brake. There's that little clevis right here. Pull back, the e-brake is engaged. So once everything's done, if I want to adjust it more, I can. So release it. Everything's spinning. So of course there's still a little bit of, just gotta adjust everything, make sure everything's fine when it's actually rolling. Out, came up pretty easy with a transfer case. It's just dirty. So with the mounts, everything made. So now it's time to just take it apart, clean it up, repaint the engine and transmission, make it clean, then redo the bay. Right here is the bracket that my friend made so we can mount the shifter into the transmission, into the tunnel, sorry, into the vehicle. We're using the CRV, so we had to make an adapter plate, which is what this is, bolted to the factory location, and it's curved to fit the contour of the tunnel. I guess you might. So we have some big updates. And just basically put all the suspension on the car so I can start reassembling the engine bay. Hopefully everything goes well, and if it does, I should be moving this car back to the shop to get the oil pan redone and just just to test it up, finish up all the little grinding for a little bit. That's what it looks like. That's probably coming out good in the camera, but I should give me enough clearance so the axle boot could spin. So this is what it looks like. See, the clearance is right there, just touching that little section, I guess where the clamp is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grind off that portion. Okay, doesn't look too bad. So here's a little all-wheel drive footage. It's a little hand power because a quick glimpse of what it's going to look like. So everything is connected, it's on all fours. So it's the next day, we're back working on the car. I already started stripping down the front end. We're going to take out the rat support or tackle the oil pan. I'm not sure which one is going to be the first main project, but for right now, I'm trying to work on this fuel rail. Just install it to see if this will solve my issue for the fuel line, so I could just make the final line and just be happy with the way the oil line is, the fuel line is routed. These are the parts I'll be putting on to finish off this Euro arm manifold install. So here's a little update of what happened so far. We kind of repaired this area over here. The front we kind of repaired also. Still look a little janky, but we're getting there. This area we completely fixed, got rid of all that extra metal. We may do that over here also. I'm gonna try to straighten this out. If not, we're just gonna cut it out and replace it. More or less the car's together. A few little things I gotta figure out, like this hose. It's, I don't know, I'm gonna figure that out. But it looks like it may work. It's the whole front. I'm just over here. Check out my popcorn welds. First time welding, just trying to make everything look good. Trying to make the exhaust a little bit, so we're fairly close up what I want. So next, all the fuel lines are hooked up. Give you a look at the back. So that's the back. The panels are back in. The lines are in. The fuel pump is wired up. Just gotta put the hat on, tighten everything up, and that big old hose is gonna be the vent for the tank. So obviously I'm gonna cut it, but save that for a little bit later. Of course, carpet's in. Still look like a little bit of mess, but now we got gears, baby. So little by little, it's coming together. Fuel system is all plumbed and hooked up. So soon we have to test it. serious. So right now what I'm about to do is I'm about to prime the car, make sure it has oil pressure, and I have an oil gauge inside, so that should tell me if oil pressure is building. And once that's good, then I'm gonna try to start it. We got a fuel leak. That filter on there, so I just gotta tighten that up and then we'll try it again. So right now we're just chasing fuel leaks. So before the lines were leaking, I can show you. The black line that connected there is leaking right here. So I changed that. So I had that one already pre-made, that one is fine. So we fixed that. Now the fuel injectors are leaking, so I have to go get brand new seals for those. Which is what I'm gonna go buy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that sounded good.
Give me the gas here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ah! Woo! Good.
I hope not.
No, go ahead.
So we'll just have it on the road. This is just how it looks right now. I'm trying to get an alignment rack so I can more or less make sure the axles in the back are in fact the right length, and if they are, just put it back up, take the whole rear suspension off, take the axles out, send those out to get custom made, and then I'm good. The fronts, I kind of had that worked out. I fixed that today, so that should be good. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yep, that's oil. Going for the first drive, it's loud as shit, only downpipe. Keep running. There's always traffic. Come on, motherfucker. Talk about sketchy. Sketchy as shit. Well, yeah, these stands come in handy, man. If I only had another one for the front, these would be great. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Keep watching. Thanks. So, I'm not sure how clear that footage came out yesterday of the car, but it drove, has a major oil leak, and I'm about to go fix that now. So, it's getting better, not worse, but it's getting a little bit better. It's a little annoying, but whatever. Gotta drop the pen again, do a little bit more modifications, fix whatever is leaking, and that's it. And I found that the rear axles are a little bit too long, so they basically butted up against the cup inside. So I have to cut them down by, say, ½ an inch. So I'm gonna do that, test it again, drive it, fix the oil leak, and then once that's good, I know those are correct, send those out to get made. The front axles are now perfectly fine. I changed those out, so those are no issue anymore. But yeah, so right now I'm just basically cleaning up so I don't have no more mess. But right now I'm happy with it. It's the bumper, it's the other oil pan. So yeah, I'm pretty happy how things turned out. Minus the oil leak, of course. Keep watching.
I live inside my own world of make-believe.